Hey, Star Stuff. This is your timeless weekly reading. Ancestors, source, guides. What do my creative intergenerational pattern breakers need to know for the week of May 20th through the 26th, 2024? Beginning of the week focuses in the material. 8 of Rainbows, ordinariness, clarified by 3 of Rainbows, guidance, both which tell me that presence as we are experiencing our material. Maybe it is that we're paying bills, we're doing laundry, we're dropping the kids off, we're cooking our meals. All of these things that we're experiencing throughout our ordinary daily lives in the material connect to our creativity. Perhaps we're inspired, perhaps we have downloads, inspiration. We are guided by a force that is not our own hand. Source, ancestors, guides come in to inspire us, show us a new way, to help us through perhaps things that we have been trying to do but not making it. Our ordinary world gives us gifts that are unexpected. Middle of the week, 2 of Rainbows, moment to moment, clarified by 2 of Water, friendliness. Middle of the week has us meeting circumstances around our goals. The guidance of this week is to focus on one foot in front of the other. We have a goal. Everything that happens around it influences that goal, but isn't necessarily relevant. This is where we get into the spiritual concept of detaching. The circumstances around us that are happening right now might be important, they might be real, but it's not true, and it's not necessarily connecting to our alignment in regards to where we're going. As the man in this card, we are focusing on the steps we need to take. Everything else that's happening in the material, our circumstances, people, anything that's not us and not going with us on our journey are kind of covered by these colors. They're happening, but it's not real. The steps we're taking, the people that are holding our hands and supporting us, that's real. And that is our focus. Everything else is pushed to the background. And the clarifier, the 2 of Water, is telling us to befriend ourselves, to be kind to ourselves in this moment, to be relating to our goals as part of our ecosystem. It's ours. We're having it. Our emotions are what connects us and what brings what it is that we're wanting to our material present. In order to do that, we must be open, we must be receptive, we must share nutrients, we must share information, and the quality of friendliness is a relating quality. It's seeing ourselves or what it is that we want reflected in the mirror, relating to it in a way that brings us closer to it closer to us, seeing the similarities and the possibilities in the right now, in our emotional selves. And so, with your feelings, we bring the reality that we're wanting to create or to manifest into our reality by allowing circumstances to be what they are, detaching from them. They become the colors. The colors in the background are stepping stones, are real. We can feel our feet on them. And as we feel our feet on them, kind and friendly and letting go of shoulds and shouldn'ts and all the other ways that we shame and guilt ourselves while we're after something. We're letting the monkey mind go. We're letting our feelings experience this thing as real. This thing is ours. It is good. We are good, and we are taking our steps on these stones in goodness to have this thing. It is inevitable. It is ours. It is good. End of the week brings some major arcana, 14 integration, balance of our masculine and feminine, clarified by technically card 22 in the deck. This is a special card that doesn't exist in other tarots. The Master. And I'm going to read to you what it says. The Master in Zen is not a master over others, but a master of himself. His every gesture and his every word reflect his enlightened state. He has no private goals, no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. His disciples gather around him not to follow him, but to soak up his presence and be inspired by his example. In his eyes, they find their own truth reflected. In his silence, they fall more easily into the silence of their own beings. The Master welcomes the disciples not because he wants to lead them, but because he has so much to share. Together they create an energy field that supports each unique individual in finding his or her own light. If you can find such a master, you are blessed. If you cannot, keep on searching. Learn from the teachers and the would-be masters and move on. This card speaks to our awareness, the awareness that is deeper than the programming that we've been given in our material human suit self, but the knowledge of the big universal truth that our spiritual beingness, our soul or our spirit has command of. This card represents our high self in that way. It is the master of our personal Lord God being, the I am, the one that connects to the big source. This is that card. This tells me that your high self is watching over you as you are integrating your masculine, your feminine, and your neutral. Maybe each of your sides are communicating with you in a different way. Maybe some things happen towards the end of this week that call upon you to show up in ways that show this to yourself. Either way, there are parts of you that you are likely to see by the end of this week that really show you where you are in your personal development. Are the patterns that you think you've broken really broken? Are you standing in a new place? And perhaps you are asking yourself some new questions in this place of mastery and continuing that journey of breaking these patterns, because once we start with breaking one or two generational patterns, we find that wherever it is that we go, we walk to the beat of a different drum, and we are setting ourselves apart by the mastery that comes from leading in that way. So the summary for this week: the beginning of this week begins with focus in the material. We are being inspired and guided from external sources. Maybe it's inspiration, maybe it's download. Check in with your dreams, creativity, your ordinary life, your material, mundane, everyday life is likely to bring you some insight, download, dreams. Middle of the week shows us that we are deeply focused in the material on our goals, where we're going. We are experiencing detachment so that our circumstances are feeling perhaps less real, or we're recognizing that our circumstances are distracting us from where it is that we're going, focusing on taking that one step in front of the next step while we are engaging in positive self-talk. We are being our own best friend. We are making friends with the reality that we are creating, and we are allowing it to come into being. We are no longer blocking ourselves from our blessings. By the end of the week, we are experiencing that integration. Our high self is showing to us where we are in this new place of mastery. Maybe we're asking some new questions. Maybe we're seeing ourselves and others in a new light. Know that your masculine and feminine are balancing in a new way. This is coming from source, ancestors, and guides. Embrace it as happening for you, not to you. And remember, you got this. If you found value in this video, leave me a like, drop me a comment down below, let me know how your week has gone. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to my channel. This is Tanisha Ahava. It has been a pleasure serving you. I'll see you in the next one.